friends, welcome to my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here. My name is Whitney and I'm on a weight loss journey that I've been documenting here on YouTube, so if you're interested in hearing more about that, stay tuned. So I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG surgery on October 27th, 2020. That's a type of weight loss surgery. It's also known as the gastric sleeve. At the time I had surgery, I was 30 years old and I'm now 31 years old and I am 5'6". As always, we'll start with stats. When I started the process of getting approved for surgery, it was May of 2020 and I was at my high weight of 282.4 pounds. It took about 5 months from the time I started the process to when I actually had surgery in October, and during that time I lost about 23 pounds, so that my weight on the day of surgery was 259 pounds even. When I checked in with you guys at my last bi-weekly update, I was at a weight of 223.2 pounds, and when I did my last monthly update, I was at 224 pounds even. Today, for my weeks 17 and 18 bi-weekly check-in and my 4-month check-in, I am weighing in at 217.6 pounds. So that is a loss since my last bi-weekly check-in. So a 2-week loss of 5.6 pounds, a loss for the month of 6.4 pounds, a loss since surgery of 41.4 pounds, and a total loss of 64.8 pounds. So I feel pretty good about that. If you've watched any of my last couple of videos, then you know that I had gone through a couple of weeks where I was really off track with my eating and just really wasn't losing any weight at all, which is not surprising because I wasn't following any sort of plan. So 2 weeks ago when I checked in with you guys, I let you know that I was starting something a little bit new, and I'll give you an update on that in a little bit. But that has really helped me get back on track, and so I feel good about that 5.6 pound loss. And of course that makes up the vast majority of my weight loss for the month. So the monthly loss of 6.4 pounds, I would have liked to have lost more. I've averaged a higher weight loss the previous months, but the fact that I had been so off track for like the first half of the month and then was able to pull it back together and lose that 6.4 pounds, I feel good about that. And I look forward to having even better results at my 5-month check-in. It's kind of crazy that it's already been 4 months. This month totally flew by. I feel like I just did my 3-month update and I'm already here at 4, so that's crazy. The other thing that's really cool about where I'm at now is I am like this close to having my BMI be below 35, which would put me down still in the obesity category for BMIs, but it would be class 1. So I've already phased out of class 3 obesity. Right now I'm in class 2, but the cutoff for that is 35, I believe. So once I get down, I think my BMI is like 35.6 or 35.4, something like that right now. So I'm just a few pounds away from being below a BMI of 35, which also means that I wouldn't qualify for surgery even if I had a comorbidity at this point. So that's kind of cool, you know, it's a big progress. And the other thing that I realized the other day is that I'm now more than halfway to my goal weight of 165. So, you know, that's crazy. It's crazy what a difference, you know, 7 months could make. So, and I'm coming really close to my next goal milestone or weight milestone. If you watch my goals video, you know that I set out 5 weight-related goals or milestones for myself and 5 NSV milestones for myself before I had surgery. And I'm coming up on my next weight milestone, which is 50 pounds lost since surgery. So I have about 8.5 more pounds to go. And it's also crazy to realize, like, I'm getting in the realm of possibility for Wonderland. I've still got, you know, 18 pounds to go, so it's not an insignificant ways to go, but you know, it just feels so achievable now in a way that it never has before. So I'm looking forward to coming at you guys, in the next 2 months, hopefully. I'm gonna hope to get to that point by my 6-month update. I think 1 more month is probably a little too ambitious, but I think it's doable by my 6-month update. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to it. So in terms of other things that have happened the last couple of weeks, the last month, if you watched my last bi-weekly update, you know that 2 weeks ago I decided to start a no spend challenge. And that was a tool that I decided to use to get back on track with my diet, because I have a ton of food in the freezer, and if I can't bring new bad things into the house, then I can't be eating things I'm not supposed to eat. So it's kind of like a fun, creative way that I was able to get myself back on a plan, but that didn't feel so like punitive. And that's been going really, really well. So I'm now 2 weeks into that. And the rules for my no spend, if you didn't see my last video, were basically, I'm really doing a no spend on groceries. I'm not concerned about other things like clothes or household items. For me, it's specifically about groceries, although I have pretty much curbed my spending across the board. So that's been cool to save money. But the rules for my no spend were that I was giving myself $10 a week to spend on groceries. And that was really intended to go towards like vegetables or things to kind of fill out other things that I already had in my fridge, freezer, or pantry. And I've been doing really well with that. I have posted almost every day what I've been eating on Instagram. I think I've only missed 2 or 3 days in the last 2 weeks. So if you want to see what I'm eating over there, I'm doing that. And the other rule that I set down, or it wasn't a rule so much, but a goal, was to basically do intermittent fasting so that I skip breakfast. I've never been a breakfast eater. And then do a protein shake for lunch, and then kind of have whatever I want for dinner. Not that I'm intentionally eating like way off base, but just making a meal that's based, again, on things that are out of the fridge, freezer, or pantry. But I'm not super strict on like it has to be low carb or this or that. So that's been going really well. I have been filming some of what I've been making. I have forgotten to film a lot of stuff. But I've been collecting all that, and I think probably like 1 or 2 more things I'd like to film, and then I'll put that into a compilation video that's kind of not a what I eat in a day, because it'll be more than that, but like a what I'm eating, how no spend is going type video. So look for that in the next couple of weeks. But it's been going great. I feel really good about it, and I've been eating interesting things. I made falafel tonight, and that was really tasty. I filmed that as a whole meal prep for you guys, so that'll be in that video that I told you about. And I'm actually under budget. I've actually, as of the time I'm filming this video, I've only gone grocery shopping twice, and I've spent a total of about $20 in that range. And I'm into my, at this point, 3rd week now, and I got all the groceries I need for the week. So I'm under budget. That's going great. And I would be even more under budget, but I did let myself splurge, although it was still within budget, on some chicken breasts at Target the other day, because they had a really good deal on them. And I have a hard time passing up a deal, and I always have use for boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So anyway, that'll be in my no spend challenge video, you'll see. But that's how that's going. I feel good about it. The other cool thing that has happened in the last month, and that I don't think I've reported on in any of my previous videos, is that I finally broke down and bought myself some new clothes. I just got to a point where like all of my clothes were too big, and I just kind of felt like crap and didn't feel like I was seeing my progress. So I did let myself buy some new clothes. I'm officially in a size 14 jeans, and not just like a big 14. I bought some jeans from Aeropostale, I don't know how you say it, where I feel like their sizes run pretty small, and the 14s there fit me. They're tight, but they fit. I also have another pair of like 14 jeggings that are looser that definitely fit no problem. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to have clothes that fit me, and I can't remember the last time I was a 14. I think it's when I was in college, and it was for about a minute. And it didn't last very long. So that's cool, which reminds me, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw this, but now this 217, I'm officially now my lowest recorded adult weight. So I went back through my whole Fitbit history of the last several years that I've been tracking my weight in there, not always consistently, but tracked in there off and on. And the last time that I really made like a big effort and lost a bunch of weight was in 2016, and the lowest weight I got down to was 218.2, I think it was, and I was there for like a day, and then it went back up and settled more in the 220s for a while. But that was my lowest recorded adult weight, and I'm now below that, which is awesome. And it's cool because when I lost that weight in 2016, like the things I had to do to lose that much weight were completely unsustainable and impossible. I basically had zero life whatsoever. I meal prepped every Sunday, all of my food for the whole week, and like weighed and measured everything. And honestly was not eating much more than I eat now. But it was well before I ever had bariatric surgery. So it was not like a sustainable way of eating for me at that time. And I was exercising a ton, like 2 hours a day. And then on the weekends, I had gotten really into cycling at that time. And I would go on these like 30-mile, 40-mile bike rides every single weekend. So I was exercising a ton and not eating enough. Like, there's no way I could have kept it up, and I, in fact, did not keep it up. I gained, 60 pounds from there till my high weight when I finally decided to have surgery. So it's cool that I'm below that, but my life doesn't look anything like it did then. Yes, I'm eating smaller portions, but of course I've had this surgery, so it's actually doable for my life, but I'm not like crazy about counting every single calorie or every single grain of rice or anything like that. And yes, I exercise, but it's not this like crazy, I have no life. I have literally nothing outside of working, meal prepping, and exercising, because that's what my life was at that time. And I mean, I remember like I'm a pretty clean person, but like my apartment at the time was always a mess. My sink was always full of dishes because my whole life revolved around trying to stay in shape and lose weight. And it sucked, like, I mean, I felt good physically, but I was not in a good place emotionally. And so it's interesting to look at where I am now, and I'm just in such a more balanced place in my life, and I'm so much happier. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. I had a couple of NSVs this month I want to tell you guys about. So the first one I already did, which is all the new clothes I bought, which I'm very excited about. I got some new leggings, some new jeans, a couple of shirts. I tried not to overdo it, and I tried to get things that'll kind of work even as I shrink, but that's the clothes. The other thing is I went to donate blood the other day. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that that's a thing I do. But if you've ever donated blood, like you do your blood donation and then they have you sit in the waiting area afterwards for like 15-20 minutes to make sure you don't have any adverse reactions, you don't faint or anything like that. So I'm sitting there waiting, just like had my AirPods in. I think I was listening to a podcast or an audiobook, and it didn't even occur to me. I realized I sat down sitting there and I totally just had my sitting with like one leg crossed over the other. Like, as any of you who've ever been big know, like, that's not a thing you do. And I was just sitting there completely comfortably, like, one leg crossed over the other, no big deal. So that was a cool NSV, and that I just did it without even thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, this is a way I can sit now, and I can sit comfortably. So that was fun. The last thing I wanted to let you guys know is that I'm not tracking my food anymore. So in the beginning, like when I was doing my medically supervised weight loss prior to surgery and the first couple of months after surgery, I was tracking everything that I ate in, I used Fitbit, but you can also use MyFitnessPal. And that is a tool that I find helpful, but I feel like I had gotten to a point where it was becoming a little obsessive and like unhealthy. And I was getting really crazy about the portions I was eating and the calories and all of that. And I just decided that it was kind of turning into a slippery slope for me, and not something that was a positive part of my experience. So That is not something I'm doing anymore. I'm focusing more on trying to just minimize snacking and sticking to my plan of like fasting in the morning, protein shake for lunch, and then a regular dinner. And that's been going pretty well. I think I've talked about it on this channel before, but maybe not as like openly. But one thing that I've really struggled with since I had this surgery is feeling like I eat too much. And I just look at other people, whether they have YouTube channels or on Instagram, or like I'm part of a support group through the hospital where I had surgery. And I feel like so many people are like, oh yeah, I eat like 2 or 3 bites and I'm full. And that's just not been my experience. And I was not prepared for that. I was prepared for things to be hard after I had surgery, but I thought for sure, like, isn't the whole point of this surgery to make your stomach smaller and you can't eat a lot? And I definitely can't eat as much as I could before surgery, but I feel like I can eat a lot for a bariatric patient. And maybe I'm wrong about that. It's kind of hard. I don't really have anything to compare it to in terms of real life. I do know other people that have had this surgery, but I don't see them on a daily basis. And especially with COVID, like I don't see anyone on a daily basis really. So it's like, I feel like I can eat a lot. Like I can easily eat 6 ounces of food. Honestly, most days could eat 8 ounces, no problem. And that scares me a lot. And so it's like, I feel like I get obsessive about eating as little as I can, but then I know that that's not good either. And I kind of feel like that's where I was getting crazy with the tracking and really trying to like minimize the calories and stuff I was eating. And it just scares me because I don't want to develop an eating disorder. Like that's not why I had this surgery. I do want to lose weight. I do want to have control of my eating. I don't want to exchange one type of disordered eating for another type of disordered eating. And, that's just a concern that I have. And so that's part of the reason I decided to stop tracking. It's also just a pain in the butt to do. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Comment down below. Like, do you find yourself feeling like you eat too much, not enough? Like, I don't know. No one's been nasty to me about it on my Instagram or anything like that. I know I've heard of some of that happening in this community. That's not been my experience, fortunately, but it's so hard not to compare ourselves to others, and I look at what other people are eating and they'll have like one like chicken nugget sized piece of chicken and like 2 green beans, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so full, which like I'm not hating on them, good for them. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I could eat like half a chicken breast and like a serving of green beans. No problem. And then it just makes me scared. Like, I'm only 4 months post-op. Am I going to get to 2 years and suddenly I can eat like a regular person again and I'm just going to gain all the weight back? Like, that scares me. But again, I don't want to go the other direction of developing an eating disorder. So I don't know, that's been something that's been messing with my head a lot. Doing this like no spend and just trying to stick to more of a scheduled eating pattern, I feel like has worked better for me, because if I do that, like I don't overeat, because I'm really only eating one meal, like in terms of an actual meal with different components a day, and that's at dinner. And again, I don't eat to the point of like feeling sick or whatever, but I do want to eat to the point of satiety, and I just feel like that point for me is much higher than it is for other bariatric people, and that's hard for me. Like, I struggle with that, especially because my weight loss has not always been what I want it to be, and so I'm just like, well, maybe if I eat less. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Let me know down in the comments what your experience has been with that. I'd love to hear from you guys on that. Hey guys, Editing Whitney here. I realized I almost forgot to insert my before and after photos, since this is a monthly update, so I'll put those in here. And the first ones you're going to see are my last month to this month. So that's from my 3-month check-in to now my 4-month check-in. So month 3 is on the left, month 4 current photos are on the right. I don't know. I don't really see a difference, but that's not surprising because it's only about 6 pounds. So I don't know if you see it. Let me know down in the comments. I don't really see it, but I'm pretty okay with that. And then the second set will be from my high weight to now. There's obviously a huge difference there, which is cool to see. So that is, those are my before and after photos. I did do measurements, but I don't, I'm not going to include those this time because I just don't have time to work them into the editing. The highlights are basically, I lost like an inch, I want to say, off my hips, and I think a quarter of an inch off my neck, and everything else was pretty much about the same. And that's really it. That's all I have for now. So thank you for watching. As always, if you like this content, please do give me a thumbs up, like this video. It helps my videos get seen by other people who might be interested in them. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. I do read all the comments. I respond to them. I have noticed some of the comments I'm not getting notified for, so I don't see them until I go back and do like a comprehensive review. So it's been taking me a little longer to respond to some of those comments. I will see them eventually. Something's going on with YouTube's app. I don't know why I'm not getting notified about all the comments, so sorry about that. But I do read all of them and respond to them. If there's something you'd like to see on this channel, let me know down in the comments. I know a couple of you have asked to see what I'm eating on this no spend challenge. Again, I'm filming those and I will do something on that in the next couple of weeks, so just stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. If you enjoy this, do also consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.